Good afternoon. It's Tuesday tea time with Dorarena, and I want to welcome all our first time viewers and those that will be watching the replay, and those thank you for our continual supporters that's been watching. We are from Women of Wisdom. We are a nonprofit organization here to empower teen girls and women. We're here to bridge that generational gap between the younger and the older generation so that we can pass on vital knowledge to one another and to the next generation for all generations to benefit, right? Okay, so I usually share with you my cup and my tea. So I am using my new cup from last week. If you was with me, you seen my new cup, and I was telling you how my husband has the same cup, but his is red because that's his favorite color. And so I have a new tea that I'm trying tonight. Now, I've tried this tea before, but this one is just slightly different. So this one is, if you can see it, hibiscus. And the one that I've tried before is called red hibiscus. So we're going to try this tonight, and we're going to see how good hibiscus is without the red. All right. Tea time. It's okay. It's not bad. It's okay. Last week, oh yeah, the second time, oh yeah, that tastes a whole lot better. Last week I had what was that? Mango peach. Ooh, that mango peach is good though. I started to do it again, but I said, I'm gonna try something new. Okay. So anyway, I hope that you have your cup and that you have your beverage or whatever and fill your cup up with lots of wisdom tonight. All right. Okay, so let's get right to our topic and let's not waste any time. We've still been talking about the process of transformation. We're going to talk tonight about feeling stuck. Okay, because when you get into that chrysalis stage and right before you begin to develop into the adult butterfly, you can get to a place where you just kind of feeling stuck. And so let's look at what that means. Because, I mean, a lot of things, they're simple and we think, oh, yeah, we know. But sometimes, when we refresh our minds on things, we get a clear understanding. It's something about going back over and over on a thing that brings out or magnifies a greater understanding. And we want to get understanding in all of our getting, right? Okay, let's read this together. So, stuck means to be able to move from a particular position or place. So you stuck in life, stuck in time, stuck in the past, and sometimes stuck on stupid, as the saying goes. And we do not want to be stuck on stupid. Really, that is just really being stuck in a cycle. And we sometimes don't want to get out of it, even though it is not good for us. Okay. So, oh, yeah, you know what I was going to tell you? Look at that. Can you see that? I have there we go, my teapot earrings. Yeah, I'm the tea girl. Okay, so anyway, let's continue because I got a couple of well, actually I got a few quotes I want to share with you tonight because they're so good. But I wanted to talk to you about sometimes it's that overwhelming sense that we're not where we're at, and we don't have a clue about how to get there. And so that leads to anxiety and frustration. And sometimes, those things are the things that cause us to be stuck. So we want to get unstuck. We want to be able to continue to develop in life and become, that adult butterfly. We do not want to stay stuck. We do not, I mean, come on, because you know how things go when it's too long. It becomes stale, and it just rots, and that stinks. And so when you get stuck in life, you know, it can be a stinky place, full of anxiety and frustration. And we do not want to be stuck on stupid, and we don't want to stay in that place. Okay, so we're going to talk about feeling stuck. How do we get out of being stuck? Okay, so the first thing we want to talk about is difficult times and life challenges can have us feeling like we have lost our sense of direction. And so, if you feel that way, you're probably feeling stuck. Okay. So it can help to first identify why are we feeling this way. And so if we can figure that out, then we can remove the roadblocks. Okay, so what we're going to talk about is the reason. Okay, so I have 5 things I want to share with you about the reason, and I have 5 things I want to share with you about changing our perspective so that we don't have to stay stuck. Okay, so before we do that, let me share with you a couple of quotes that I have. One is, although you may not always be able to avoid difficult situations, you can modify the extent to which you can suffer by how you choose to respond to the situation. Okay, and I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the name so you can see it for yourself. And let me share this second one with you. This is by Duke Ellington. He said, a problem is a chance for you to do your best. Okay, so really, if you're feeling stuck, this is a positive quote by Duke Ellington. Okay, so a problem is a chance for you and I to do our best. Okay, so the first thing I want to share with you about identifying, or figuring out the reason why we're stuck is we've outgrown our shell, and it's time to grow again, to move to the next level. Sometimes we can get too comfortable with where we've been. You can get comfortable in your hurts. You can get comfortable, you know, I mean, come on, with the same old. And then we become stuck, and then we're comfortable with being stuck. And so really, we got to outgrow our shell, because life is always drawing us to grow. And if we decide not to grow, we get stuck. Okay, number 2, we may have detached ourselves from our values. This will leave us feeling like we are not being our authentic self. Okay, so you can get stuck by not honoring your values. And then when we don't honor our values, we lose identity. And when we lose identity, then we lose the authenticity of being who we are. Come on, that's pretty good. Yes. Okay, so number three, our mindset. Oh, you know how much we talk about our mindset, okay? Because that mindset, oh, wow, that can free you in a lot of ways, or it can keep you stuck, okay? So we think we are going to lose something if we change. You know, that can be a rotten mindset, and really, what that boils down to is just fear of change. Change is everywhere, and you can't hide from it. And even though you may not want to deal with change or do not like change, you are changing. And it may be for the negative or it could be for the positive if you learn to cooperate with life, because life brings changes. Okay. So you can't really hide from them. Number four, sometimes we are conjuring up feelings of emotional sadness, and sometimes we are adopting someone else's emotional disturbance or anxiety, and we think it's ours. I mean, you know what? Listen, I learned that firsthand for myself. You know, just picking up other people's frustration. You know, you can stand next to a person, and you know, laughter is contagious. So, so are a lot of other things are contagious, and you can pick up someone else's frustration, you know, because you're in that atmosphere and you're going to pick up moods and mood swings and things like that. So you got to guard yourself so that you're not allowing somebody else's issues to become your issues. And then once you embrace that, now you stuck in this thing, and now you got to figure out how to get out, and you don't even realize that you picked it up from somebody else. And we can't just conjure up, you know, sadness, you know, conjure up, you know, feeling this way and feeling that way. You are the master of your emotions, and you can choose how you want to feel. So take control of your emotions, okay? And the atmosphere around you. You can create your own atmosphere. Number five, evaluating our position, evaluating our positive and negative lists. So they may be in competition. That would help us see why we are stuck. So you need to write your feelings down so that you can see whether or not is the positive and the negative competing with one another. Isn't that interesting? You know, these are some of the things that we don't even think about a lot of times. And, you know, these things help us identify whether or not we are stuck. Have you ever heard of that? You know, being stuck between a rock and a hard place. You know, that's that difficult situation where you have to choose between the two equally unpleasant course of actions. You know, pay attention to, you know, your own thoughts and your own feelings, and awareness will help you decide which one to go with, and do all of these evaluations and find out the reason. Find out the reason. If you can find out the reason, then you can find out what to do. Okay, so let's talk about changing our perspective will help us to become unstuck. So here's some questions that I have for you, and I did type them up for you so that if you need to, you can write them down or take a picture of it or whatever. But anyway, changing our perspective. One, how else can we see this situation? Self-explanatory. I don't even have to explain that. Number two, how will I feel about this situation in the next 6 months? Think about that. Think about how would you feel about the situation in the next 5 years. So that will help you to get unstuck. Number three, how would my 8-year-old self advise me? You know, our 8-year-old self looks at life different than where we are in life right now. And you will be surprised if you go back to that 8-year-old you and see what your 8-year-old would say about you being stuck in this place. Because, you know, at that age, you know, we're thinking about, oh, I want to be this when I grow up. I want to be that. You know, we're not, you know, getting caught up in any type of anxiety or fear or frustration or anything like that. We think that we can fly. We think that there's nothing impossible that we can't do. And then when we get older and start dealing with circumstances and situations, we allow them to dictate our future. No, we can do all things that strengthen us. Okay. So you don't stop being you know, don't stop evaluating, don't stop growing, don't stop, you know, learning and moving forward. Don't let fear hinder you or anything else, what people have said or picking up this and that from everybody else. Don't let that stuff stop you. You have goals and have things that you want to reach in life, and that'll motivate you to keep moving on and not getting stuck. Don't get caught up in, you know, well, I kind of like feeling like this. Mm-mm. Okay, let's move on. Okay, let's see. Number four, what wisdom would my 65-year-old self say? Remember, as we are incomparable and comparison is a joy thief. So give yourself, or I think I did that. Okay. It's supposed to be get stuck in on wisdom. That's what it's supposed to say. Okay, because you know what? Listen, if we learn how to use comparison correctly, we would compare ourselves to ourselves, not to everybody else, our potential, our future. And then joy and authenticity will free us from being stuck. Okay, that's what we have for you today for Tuesday Tea Time with Dorarena. Remember, I want to share this with you that this is, we are 1 week away from giving Tuesday for Share Omaha. If you know, give to, you know, any nonprofit, but if you think about Women of Wisdom, give to Women of Wisdom. All right. Okay. So just want to throw that out there. Next week, we are going to have a young lady that's been coming to Women of Wisdom. She's going to share, because we're going to do a little Share Omaha. We're going to do a Giving Tuesday presentation to talk about how Women of Wisdom have changed. One of the ladies in our group, and you know, join us next week. So, as I always tell you, Dorena loves you, and walk in wisdom, my friend. All right, you have a great night and enjoy your Thanksgiving. And don't eat too much.